Welcome everyone to HuletLingo. This is Mel. Today's video is gonna be a bit different. It's not gonna be like a lesson video. It's more so a resources, a tip video, and I'm gonna put it in the resources section of our classroom. It's just gonna be tips, quick tips to help you learn a new language, just to make the whole process manageable for you. Before I get started, I would like to thank learn101.org. It's a great website. They have a lot of different languages on there. We're talking about French, German, Russian, just a lot of languages on there. If you want to learn those languages, I would suggest going on there. It's super helpful. It's not like super extensive, and it doesn't teach you everything about the language, but it gives you an idea of what the language is and gives you the building blocks of that language. So it's a really great tool, and this website is actually that inspired me to create this video because I really liked some of the tips that they had on their website, so I kind of wanted to incorporate it into my classroom, so thanks to them. So I created 3 keys that I think are so important when it comes to learning a new language. The first one is having a roadmap or a plan. What I mean by having a roadmap or a plan is just, first of all, just having an end goal. I know that sounds a little different from a plan, but it's good to have an end goal before you create a plan. What I mean by that is for example, if you're planning to become fluent in a language versus you're just trying to go on a vacation to a country and you're just trying to know the common phrases and sentences and just ways to help you communicate with the locals, your roadmap is going to look completely different. Because someone who's trying to master the language is going to have more of a detailed plan versus, and of course, a lot more time to invest in it versus someone who's trying to go on a vacation. You have like that 2 month time or 3 months time before your vacation. You're trying to cram in all you can before you go to that country, and don't basically try to communicate with them and don't look like a doofus. I know that happens. Sometimes you go to a country and you don't know what language they are speaking, and you're just like, oh shoot, how do I communicate with any of these people? And you're relying on English or some common language like that. I'm not calling English common. Let's take that back. I'm just saying it's universal. Let's just say that it's a universal language that a lot of people speak, so we can kind of rely on that whenever we go to a different country. But it's good to know the native language, the native language that the locals speak, so that you can talk to them on a more personal level. Number 2 is focus on the important components. Like I said, it's human nature to kind of try to take it all in, try to come up with a big, elaborate plan, but that can get really stressful. And I don't know about y'all, but when I get stressed, I don't want to do anything. I'm just like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna give up. That's it. You don't want to stress yourself like that. You're demotivating yourself when you do that. When you're focusing on small little details, it becomes so overwhelming. It's good to look at the bigger image and focus on big, achievable components, so that you can be like, okay, at least I can do this, instead of being like, oh, so and so can do this, that, and third, I can't. Don't do that. Don't compare yourself. That should be one of the tips I should have put on here, because don't compare yourself to other learners, because everyone is different. Seriously. And then memorize the building blocks. Building blocks, I will discuss this a bit more on the next slide, but basically they're so essential. They help you, first of all, they help you kind of feel confident about your speaking ability. They can help you create different sentences. You're not limited on what sentences you can create if you master the building blocks. Most daily conversations follow a similar format, and because of these, we call these the building blocks of a sentence. A basic sentence contains these building blocks. These building blocks are the nouns, the verbs, the prepositions, the adjectives, the adverbs. And of course, some of these are going to be more important than others. For example, you might not use an adverb in a sentence and it still be a correct sentence, versus if you skip a verb, it might be a little weird. Someone might still understand you, but it might be a little weird. So that's why some of these, of course, are going to be more important than others, but it's good to know a bit of all of them because they are really building blocks. So I came up with 10 steps that can help you learn a language quickly. Of course, these steps might not be as helpful to, well, they're helpful, okay? They're helpful. But these steps are not going to be super extensive or like detailed, but they will give you an overview of how to learn a language quickly. The first one is master common words. We talked about these. Most sentences contain nouns. They're literally important to a sentence. So if you know a lot of common words, it will help you create a lot of sentences. It makes sense, right? And then master common verbs. Memorize common verbs. It's so important. Verbs are essential to a sentence because they allow you to add action to your sentences. For example, if we have, let's say, Lily and a cup, and we're like, okay, Lily cup, what does that mean? But if you're like, Lily is drinking from a cup, the verb is adding action to that sentence and it gives a meaning. So it's important to master common verbs. Common verbs are like to be, drinking, walking. All of these are like common verbs that are essential to a sentence, and we mostly use them in a sentence as well. And then master phrases. Phrases are complete sentences. So for example, how old are you? Or what is your name? These are common complete sentences that you should have in your arsenal, and they can help you communicate with locals. And then the fourth one is learning the alphabet. Oh my God, Amharic has a lot of alphabets. It's not it's not like English where it has like 26. And it's like, well, I learned my 26 letters. That's it. Amharic has a lot of letters. I know it can get annoying, but I'm gonna for this class especially, I'm gonna break it down so that we don't get overwhelmed. And the reason I say learning the alphabet is important because they help you decipher written language. So we're talking about, and then practice pronouncing each letter because that can help you master them, of course. But learning the alphabet can help you kind of read, write, and that can add a whole another world into your learning process. It's really essential. And then, of course, learning common prepositions. Prepositions can help you convey a relationship between two words. So because of this, it's good to have at least 20 or 30 prepositions that you know of that are common, and you can use them in different parts of the sentence. The next one is learning common adjectives. Adjectives are I love them. Clearly, you can hear them popping up in every sentence that I'm saying right now, and they're so important, and they help us kind of add detail and glam to a sentence. So I definitely advise learning some common adjectives. And then learn common adverbs. Adverbs, they can help you express things such as manner, place, or degree of doing things. So they're so essential too. But I prefer adjectives a little more. That's a little tip. But learning adverbs is so important too. Come on. And then the next one is practice. I know a lot of people tell you practice makes perfect. But it's really true. Like, practicing can help you. It's so essential, and I would suggest, and that can tie in with the next tip actually, which is the be persistent. Don't give up. Sometimes it could be difficult, really difficult. Not sometimes, always is to learn difficult to learn a new language. However, if you break down your practice sessions or your learning sessions into 15 to 20-minute sessions daily versus, let's say, sitting down on a Saturday or a Sunday and doing a 2-hour cram session, that's going to be annoying. Seriously, and that's not going to help you learn, because when you practice daily, it helps it stick in your mind a lot more than if you were just cramming for 2 hours and you're like, oh my god, I'm tired, I don't want to do this is annoying, and then you're not learning anything. That's why they tell you to kind of when you're studying, do a small session of studying and then take a break and then come back and study it. That's why it helps your brain kind of relax and absorb the things that you're reading. So it helps to do that. And then the last one, don't be shy. Everyone makes mistakes. Come on. Everyone makes mistakes. Even native speakers. It's human nature to make mistakes. Don't let anyone make you feel bad about making mistakes, because people are always going to pick and choose and pick on whatever they want to pick on, because that's how humans are. But don't let anyone make you feel bad for not knowing something. That's just a life tip, actually. It's just not for languages only. It's just a life tip. People are going to pick on whatever they want to pick on, because that's just how we are. We like to hate on things, but don't make anyone make you feel like you're less than or you can't do something. Know that you're a boss. You're the best you that you are, and you're just trying to compete with yourself, not with person A, B, C, or D, because there's always going to be someone who's like doing better, but they're not really doing better. But there's always going to be someone who's going to brag or try to be better than you, but your competition is with yourself. Are you your goal should be, am I doing a bit better than I did yesterday? And if the answer is yes, then you're doing good. Like, seriously, you're being the boss you that you are. And that's all the tips I had. I probably said this is gonna be a 5-minute video. It's gonna be short and quick. That was a lie. That was a complete lie, because I'm looking at the timestamp right now. It's 12 minutes. It's gonna be fun to edit this, but that is okay. Hopefully you enjoyed this resource video, because I enjoyed recording it. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and as always, have a wonderful day, because it's a weekend today. I'm recording this on a Saturday because that's the only day I have to record, but that's okay. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you do some fun stuff, maybe play some video games or work. If you have work, have a nice day of work. But that's it for today's video. Like I said, thank you so much for watching this. Make sure to like, subscribe, and of course, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye.